Hello there. In today's lesson, we are going to learn about Math Primary 3, Term 2, Lesson 4. The topic is going to be Heuristic Model Drawing Part 2. Let's start. Okay, for model drawing, this is going to be equal ending concept. Okay, so why we are doing model drawing? Because this can help us to solve word problem which involve a change that leads to an equal end. Okay, this is the first example. Amy and Betty had $420 at first. After Amy spent $120 to buy a pair of sports shoes, the two girls had the same amount of money. Find the amount of money Amy had at first. Okay, so what do we need to do? We need to get the key phrases in the problem sum. All right. What is it about? Amy and Betty had 420 at first. So that's the first part. And then the second part is that the two girls had equal amount of money after Amy spent $120. So we need to find what is the total amount in the end. So first thing, what do we need to do? 420, we need to minus with the 120. Then we are going to get 300. So what's next? This 300, we need to share it between both of them. Okay, so let's draw a big box, rectangular box, Amy and Betty, and then label it as 300. Both of them have equal amount of money, 300. Okay, next, we need to find the equal amount. So 300 divided by 2, we are going to get 150 for each of them. Amy had 150, Betty had 150. Next, the second part is that we need to draw the table, the before and after table. So when we draw this table here, let's just label it Amy and Betty, before, change, and after. And then we need to fill in this table with the correct amount. Okay, Amy spent 120. So after Amy spent 120 minus 120, then only they will have the same amount of money. So Amy will have 150 at the end. Same thing with Betty. Alright. So what do we want to find? We want to find what is the amount of money Amy had at first. So this is the before and after table. We know that this is going to be minus 120. So how are we going to find the number before? We need to work backward, which is if this is minus 120, we need to plus 120. So 150 plus 120 means we need to add. So 150 plus 120, we are going to get 270. So the answer is going to be Amy had 270 at first. Okay. So let's go through the second example. Andy and Ben had $320 altogether. If Andy gave Ben $23, the two boys would have the same amount of money. Find the amount of money Andy and Ben had respectively. So this question is quite similar to the previous question. At first, both of them have this, and then someone gives some amount of money, and then both of them is going to have the same amount of money. Alright, let's get the key phrase in the problem sum. Alright, quite similar to previously, right? Andy had Ben had 320 altogether. Okay, and then the second sentence, the two boys had equal amount of money if Andy gave $23 to Ben. So the keyword here is that they are using if. It means that Andy never gave the money to Ben yet. They are assuming, alright? Okay. Alright, so this is going to be an internal transfer between the two boys. So we need to draw the model, the after model. Both of them is going to have equal amount of money. Alright, so Andy and Ben, let's draw a rectangular box here and then label it as 320. This is the combination, the sum for both of them. Okay, so if we want to find Andy and Ben, what do we need to do? Yes, we need to divide by 2. 320 divided by 2, we are going to get 160. Okay, so finish with the first part. The second part, we need to draw the before and after table. Very good. Okay, let's just do the exact same thing here. Andy and Ben, before, change, and after. Okay, so what's the change here? If Andy gave Ben $23, so what do we need to do? For Andy, do we need to plus or minus it? Yes, Andy gave Ben. So Andy need to minus it. Alright, so if we minus Andy and then the opposite should be for Ben, because Ben is going to receive the money from Andy. Okay, so once we fill up this table here, then we can work backward. Okay, if this is minus for Andy, If we want to find the amount of money Andy had before, so if this is minus, we need to plus it. So 160 plus 23, then we are going to get 183 for Andy. How about Ben? Yes, if this is plus, then we need to work backward. It is going to be the opposite, which is minus. So 160 minus 23, the answer is going to be $137 for Ben. Okay, so far so good? Alright, so that's the answer. Okay, now let's try it out. So students should be able to answer this on your own. Okay, let's try to read it first. Joyce made a total of 98 keychains and bookmark at first. So they have two items here, keychain and bookmark, 98. Second sentence, after she made another 16 bookmarks, she had the same amount of keychain and bookmark. Okay, so the question asks you, how many bookmarks did she make at first? How are you going to solve this? Pause this video for a while, take out your piece of paper and your pencil, try to do your working. After you are done, then come and check your answer back to this video. Alright, so the first sentence here, made a 98 keychain and bookmark at first. After she made another 16, then they had the same amount of keychain and bookmark. So 98, the first number here, we need to add with the 16, another 16 bookmark. Then she will get 114. Okay, so this is the total combination of keychain and bookmark in the end. And the next sentence said she had the same number of keychain and bookmark. Okay, so we draw the box here. Both box is going to have the same number. So 114, we need to divide it by 2. Okay, 114 divided by 2, we are going to get 57 for keychain, another 57 for the bookmark. Alright, then the second step is that we need to draw the before and after table. We fill up the after part, 57 and 57. Then for the bookmark, the changes is that she made another 16. So we need to plus 16 here. If we want to find the number before, so we put the before here. Question mark should be here. Alright, so if this is plus, work backward, it's going to be the opposite, which is minus 16. So 57 minus 16, the answer that you should get is 41 bookmarks at first. Did you got it right? Well done. Alright, let's continue. Second question. Derek and Eric love to collect postcards and they collected 224 postcards in total. As Derek had more postcards, he gave 35 postcards to Eric and then both of them had the same number of postcards. So the question asks, how many postcards did Derek and Eric have at first respectively? Okay, so pause this video for a while, try to do your own working and then come back and check your answer. Alright, so for the first sentence here, they say both of them had 224 postcards in total. So we have two characters, Derek and Eric. Okay, so let's just draw. Both of them had equal. It doesn't say it's equal here yet, but the total is going to be 224. Okay, so second sentence, as Derek had more postcards, he gave 35 postcards to Eric. Then only both of them had the same number of postcards. Okay, so at the end, 224, we need to divide by 2. Then it's going to be 112. Okay, draw the before after table, 112 here, 112 here. What's the changes here? Derek had more postcard. He gave 35 to Eric. So from Derek's point of view, it's going to be plus or minus? Exactly, it's going to be minus. While for Eric, it's the opposite. It's going to be plus. But since we are looking for the before part, so we need to work backward. 112, we plus it with 35 to find Eric. While Eric, 112, we need to minus with 35. Then the answer is going to be 147 and 77 Eric respectively. Okay, alright, next, going to the second part of this lesson, which is we are going to review the model drawing skill. So as you all know, we should be able to do model drawing for different kind of scenario. Let's watch this first question here. Kelly, Linda and 5 other friends shared 105 marbles equally. Okay, how many marbles did Kelly and Linda receive altogether? Just by reading this question alone, are you able to find the answer? Alright, very good. If you are able to do so. Okay, so Kelly, Linda and 5 others. So there are all 7 of them. They need to be sharing 105 marbles equally. So we draw a big box here, rectangular box. We split it into 7 equal parts. So 105, all the marbles here, we need to share it with 7 units. So what do we need to do? The working is going to be 105 divided by 7. Then we are going to get some number. Okay, but the question asks, how many marbles did Kelly and Linda receive altogether? So we just include the 2U, which is one for Kelly and one for Linda. Alright, so 105 divided by 7, we are going to get 15, which is 1U. Then we need to times it with 2 because we are finding for Kelly and Linda. So 2U over here. 15 times 2, we are going to get 30. So Kelly and Linda received 30 marbles altogether. Alright. So this first part is what we call as part whole model. We are looking for a part of it from the whole of the model drawing. Okay, on to our second part for the model drawing. Let's read together. Alright, 3 identical pairs of shoes and 4 identical shirts cost a total $441. Each pair of shoes costs $35 more than each shirt. Find the total cost of 2 shirts and 2 pairs of shoes. What do we need to do here? Alright, let's read the first sentence there. 3 identical pairs of shoes and 4 identical shirts cost a total 441. So we can just write shoes, 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 and then 4 shirts. All together will add up to 441. Okay, so the second sentence here, it's each pair of shoes cost $35 more than each shirt. Okay, so for each shirt, it is going to be less $35 for the shoes. So the shoes is going to be more. So we just do the same thing for the rest of the drawing here. So your drawing, your model drawing should look similar to this. Okay, remember to include the $35 as additional here. Alright, so now we can see that everything have equal parts plus the additional $35 for all the shoes there. So now we can find the 1U for each of these. But the question asks you find the total of 2 shirts and 2 pairs of shoes. Okay, so we need to draw where is the question mark. So we label this part here as the question marks. Okay, so the first step, we need to eliminate this additional 35 here. 35 times 3, we are going to get 105. Then we need to minus this 105 with the total 441. Then we are going to get 336. This is the balance. When we exclude this additional 35, 336 is equal to all this box here. Since we have 7 units, so we just divide it by 7. We are going to get 48. This is 48, another 48, another 48. Alright, so in order for us to find the total cost of 2 shirts, we just need to times it with 2. So 48 times 2, we are going to get 96. This is the total for 2 shirts. Is this the answer that we are looking for? Not yet. We still need to find the 2 pairs of shoes. Okay, so a pair of shoes costs 48 plus 35. Remember the additional? Okay, so once we add those, it's going to be 83 a pairs of shoes. Then we need to times it with 2 in order to get $166. At the end of it, we need to add the 2 shirts and the 2 pairs, which is going to be 166 plus another 96, which equal to $262. Okay, if you want to know, this model drawing is what we call as the stacking method. Alright, before this, it's going to be the part whole model. This is going to be the stacking because we stack all of this together. Alright, let's go through the third part of our model drawing. Okay, Alice made 28 more paper cranes than Jane. Rose made twice as many paper cranes as Alice. If the three of them made a total of 240 paper cranes, how many more paper cranes did Rose make than Jane? Okay, pause this video for a while. Try to do your own working. Once you are done, come back to this video and watch the solution. Alright, the first part here, we need to draw 2 characters, Jane and Alice. Alice made 28 more paper cranes than Jane. So the first box should be Jane and Alice should be longer by 28. Okay. Next, going to the second sentence, we found out we have Rose, which is she made twice as many as Alice. So we can see this part here, Alice, and then we just need to extend it further one times longer. Okay, which is 2 times the length of Alice. So we can find we have three characters here, Jane, Alice, and Rose. And then all three of them made a total of 240 paper cranes. So we draw the bracket 240 over here. Now we need to find how many more paper crane did Rose make than Jane. We need to compare between Rose and Jane. Okay, so draw this part over here. This is the question mark that we are looking for. Okay, what's the first step that we need to do? Okay, yes, we need to exclude all these 28 here because this is the additional. So 28 times 3 because we have 2 in Rose and 1 for Alice. So 28 times 3 we are going to get 84. So the total amount of paper crane 240 we need to minus it with 84. 240 minus 84, then we are going to get 156, which is the equivalent for 4 units, which is all this. Then we need to divide it by 4 in order to get 39 for 1 unit. Alright. So since we are looking for how many more paper crane did Rose make than Jane, just compare between Jane and Rose, which is this part over here. What's the total there? We have 1 unit plus 28 and another 28. So we just add all together. 28 plus 39 plus 28, which is going to be 95 paper crane. Okay, so for this model drawing, it is known as the comparison method. Okay, we compare between how many character, how many people that we have here. Alright, that's all from me. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something today. Bye bye.